Grace and peace, family, and welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you stopping by to check with me, chat with me, check on me. I'm glad you're checking on me right now. Ooh, it is cold, and there are a lot of sick people. There are a lot of people gagging. It's just a lot going on. Got a lot of coworkers that are sick. Had one guy yesterday. He didn't come in. He's been sick with whatever this respiratory thing is. From what I understand, he said it's not flu or COVID or what is it, RSV, none of that. But he just couldn't shake it, so he didn't come in. And this has been about his third bout. Every time he thinks he's done with it, bam, come back again. Bam, come back again. So I started thinking, I said, man, if maybe I could share some things, because another guy decides he had been sick twice as well. Matter of fact, he was out today, come to think of it. This guy, day before yesterday, he came to me. Of course, now I'm the only one that I know of in that office area that has not been sick yet. And he came and he decided he was going to pronounce over me. He said, Albert, you're going to catch this thing next. I said, the devil is a lie. You're not pronouncing that mess over me, man. I don't care who you are. You can be the freaking president. No, sir. No, ma'am. That gives a rat's rump who you are. I'm casting those words down. I said, no, sir, I will not be getting sick. You understand? Your words have power, and you don't have to believe like I believe, but you do know, and everybody knows, that words carry an expectation. There's a resonation that goes out. There's a sound. There's a demand that words bring. So just keep that in mind. You know, speaking positively over people is not a bad thing to do. It may come back to you. Yeah, it rhymes, doesn't it? But anyway, after he got done pronouncing that, and in between coughs, you know, saying what he said, I started thinking about that thing. It's like, man, you know what? Everybody's been sick but me. All of the people in the office have been sick, and I mean really sick. They can't get over the cough, and that cough is the worst. They cannot get past that cough. And I was thinking, man, but you know what? I know why. One of the things that I did was this year, right before we got to this cold and flu season of what I would say the beginning of the year, January, around the 1st of December, I decided I was going to actually go ahead and do a cleanse, a colon cleanse, as well as a liver cleanse. The colon cleanse I used was, it was amazing to do it and see the results. And this, I won't go into a lot of great detail, but I will say this. I'm a meat eater. I love meat. I love a steak. But I don't like my steak rare or medium rare. I like my steak cooked closer to well done. If you eat a lot of meat, if you eat any meat, especially rare meat, like a steak or pork, especially pork carries a lot of parasites. If that meat is undercooked, you've probably got parasites. If you eat a lot of pork in general, you've probably got parasites. These parasites will definitely bother your immune system and how you function on a day-to-day basis as far as your digestive system is concerned. How does all this relate to safety? Safety in and of itself is actually not just safety, it's environmental, health, and safety. So it's actually EH&S. And that health part is huge. It's a it encompasses a lot. So yes, this is still Confessions of a safety professional. And what I'm confessing to you today is I ain't getting sick. How am I not getting sick? By the grace of God and 3 or 4 things that I do. So number one, a good gut cleanse. All of that absorption that you need for the vitamins and minerals that will help keep you from getting sick, it's taken in your gut. That's where it starts. The liver cleanse, it was like a multiplier for me. I could tell even after doing the gut cleanse, when I came back and did the liver cleanse, that wow, the gut cleanse didn't get everything. The gut cleanse is simple. I use, let me see, I wrote this down so that I don't forget it. Oh yeah, dandelion tea. It's roasted, it's just in tea bags. You can get it on Amazon. It's dandelion tea with milk thistle. And I just drink it like you would normal tea. But what I do is I drink it warm and I put honey in it. And it really helps if you add lemon. Now, to any teas that I drink, I always like lemons. And I like to get my nutrients and things through teas or sea moss. But I love teas because I just like to sip on a good tea. Don't like to spill the tea, but I do like to sip on a good tea. Okay? So, cleanse the liver, good gut cleanse. There's 2 things. The third thing is wash your hands a lot. Where I sit is near the bathroom, and you can't help but to notice after a while that a lot of people don't wash their hands when they leave the bathroom. They touch that knob when they come out of the bathroom. There's one guy who drives me bonkers. Ugh. He will go into the kitchen area and stand there, grab a paper towel from the dispenser and blow his nose in the kitchen area. Yes, I am kind of a germaphobe. Not major, where it's just distracting all the time, but there's just some things that just stand out to me. So wash your hands a lot, but I also have a good moisturizer around so that I can moisturize my hands after I wash them. Why? With it being cold like it is right now, if you don't, you're going to start to feel and see cracks, especially if you work a lot outside or you're doing stuff with your hands. The place I get it is right there in my thumb, right there in the corner, all the time. So I have to make sure I try to go back and get that little spot and keep it moisturized so that I don't get that split there, because that sucker hurts. Man, it hurts. But wash your hands. Those 2 cleanses I talked about. Another thing that crossed my mind, I remember seeing a study where someone, I believe they were in a mall or somewhere, and they took people's cell phones and they tested the cell phones for bacteria and germs, and the findings were like, oh my goodness, terrible. People's cell phones are more contaminated with stuff than the average toilet seat. Now think about that. There's a lot of stuff that ends up on a toilet seat. But the cell phones are taken somewhere everywhere. People take them and leave them sitting on their desk, and they have conversations with other people while they sit there. So the spittle that is projected from everyone's mouth, I'm sure it hits the cell phone, the desk where it's sitting. People take their cell phones to the bathroom with them. You know that they say that when you flush the toilet, some of the fecal matter actually exits the toilet. Yeah, you got it. There's no telling where those cell phones have been and what those cell phones have seen people do, and what people would have done just before they reach for their cell phone. Yeah, it's hard to think about. So, clean your cell phone often. Get some of those germs and bad things off of your cell phone. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on from that. Um, but make sure you sanitize your cell phone. That's one of the, to me, that's an easy one. There's a lot of other stuff that you can do that will help. Introduce yourself to some things through research. One of the things that I like also is CMOS gels. Because our diets are so limited in the true nutrients that we get, because a lot of the food we get now in the United States is just horrible. It's nothing. Most of it's empty calories. Very few of the foods have a real nutritional value. So, that being said, I like a CMOS, but not just any CMOS. I like a CMOS that specifically carries, that has a lot of the vitamins and nutrients that we don't get on a daily basis. Again, all of this stuff helps you, not get sick. And if I do, or if I should feel like there's something wrong, or maybe coming down with something, I may feel something in the back of my throat or what have you, either coughing or sneeze, at the first sign, I am going to, just as quickly as I can, get to some emergency. And no, this is not an emergency commercial. I'm in no way sponsored by Emergency, although I wish I was. But that Emergency really does help. It's got like 10,000 micrograms of vitamin C or something like this crazy number, but it does the trick and helps me halt whatever that is. Excuse me, that I might have felt was coming on. So, hey, I hope that this gives you something to think about, and possibly even something to do going forward that will help you and your family. Because, hey, if you're like me and you're on the road, you're all over the place, you're running into all kinds of people. You're in a lot of different restaurants. You're in the elevator with people. They're coughing and sneezing and just sick. They're touching stuff. They're touching this. They're touching that. You pass a lot of people. There's a lot of interaction in my world with people that may be sick. So, got to learn to guard yourself. If you want to stay out here and get the bag, you got to be able to go to work. You can't go to work sick and contaminate other people. I got some water. And no, that's not a sickness cough. That's a dry throat cough. But I appreciate you stopping by. I really do. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Hey, doesn't cost you anything, but it can help. And I'm going to do all I can to make sure that any information that I bring forth here is relevant and worth knowing. This is day 7, I believe. Confessions of a Safety Professional. I still hadn't decided whether or not I'm going to name this that. Y'all help me, because I want to put something in the description that really gives it a little bit of a little pop. So, it helps me have people to help you think things through. So y'all help me think that through. Tell me what you think. What should I say? What should I name this series? My beginning, the beginning of my journey as a safety professional. That's really what this is. And if you do, And if I use your name, I got to come up with something to, something safety related to give the person that gives me the best title. But got to be someone that's subscribed. Always a catch, isn't it? Man.